Hello and welcome to Trading Photos. This is CY Entertainment Tonight and I am your host Paola Palacios. Today we have a very special guest. She is the author of Embrace Your Power. We have Janet Zipper. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good, Paola. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. Janet Zipper is an inspiration and motivational speaker. Her book is just delightful. I was reading about it and she is just so inspiring. Tell us about your projects right now. So
I have a radio show called Embrace Your Power, and that's on iHeartRadio. And I have wonderful guests on there. And my whole point of having my show is to motivate and inspire people, because everyone has something they're going through in their life. So what I do is I find guests like authors or somebody who is an expert in a certain area, so that I can reach out and touch people who are listening. And what I do too is I ask the audience too, what is it that you want, what topics do you want me to have on? So for instance, last week I had somebody say, I'm an empty nester, my son's about to leave home and I'm going to be by myself, so I'm looking for author or somebody who's an expert in the area to have on my show. So I interact a lot with my listeners because the show is for them.
Yes, exactly.
I created the show for them.
Okay. So you've had a following for quite a while because of your public speaking, right?
Yeah.
You're a motivational speaker and your workshops.
Yeah. I had workshops in New York, New Jersey, and also speaking engagements. Most of my speaking engagements have been in the New York City area right now, but I'm branching out to California.
Nice.
But I also have a huge following on my social media too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so your book, you have quotes from your posts on social media. That's what the book is about. So many great quotes by you. You said that you chose the best ones from your Facebook to put on in here, right?
Yes. So I had a lot of people, telling me, oh my gosh, I really need this. I wish that, you could be a book, because what happens when you're on social media and you post something, the feed changes, and I post so much that, you lose, the post. So
of course,
what I did is that some of the ones that people reached out to me and said, this really inspired me, this really touched me, and this really helped me. So I chose those kind of things. So I went back to 6 years worth and I went through everything and I chose the best ones. So it took me a while. It was a project.
You have to scroll down and see everything. You also have workshops, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about those.
Well, for my workshops, what I did is that I would, again, see, I'm the kind of person that I like to get feedback from my listeners, from my followers, and that. So what I would do is I would ask people, what is it that you need? What kind of workshops would you, if I had a workshop, what topic would you like for me to teach on?
Okay.
So, you know what, a lot of people came to me and said, you know what, I need help on my self-esteem, my self-worth, knowing my value.
Yeah.
So what I did is most of my workshops that I did were based on that. And there were, I was surprised because there was a lot of people from all different ages. I had from teenagers to people, up in their 60s, 70s. People who were going through divorces, people who were going through career changes, or who had just, were brought up and, just in an environment where they weren't, uplifted or empowered.
Okay.
Or they had gone through something in their life. So that, that became part of the big thing that I did was speaking on those subjects and having my workshops in those subjects.
Okay, so it's like you're giving your followers what they want.
Yes.
You're helping a lot. It's like this is sometimes, I guess not sometimes, but we always need that extra push from someone. Sometimes we even know it's inside of us, but then we need someone to tell us what we need to hear. And that's such a good thing that you're doing with this book. You are giving the people so much inspiration, and that's great. you've been doing it for your whole life almost, right?
Yeah. So since I was a little kid, people would always come to me and ask me for advice. So, it's a gift that I have. I believe everyone is born with gifts. Some people are meant to be musicians. Some people are scientists, whatever it is. So this is my gift that I've had since I was little. But, I didn't start doing it professionally until like 6 years ago. And, it's funny because I was actually working at a corporate job.
Okay.
And every time I would go get coffee or I would go to the lunchroom, I was like, whew, people would just like come and swap me. Janet, you haven't been it, I was like, oh my God.
They want to hear your knowledge all the time.
Yeah. So then at that time, my manager pulled me aside and said, Janet, you know what? You got to start charging people for this, And this is something that you're good at. And the interesting thing too is that everywhere that I worked, like I would have a human resources person come to me and say, "Oh, we're having a problem with this employee. They're really depressed or they're going through a hard time in their life. Can you talk to them?" So I said, "Okay." So it's kind of like it just naturally evolved. Yeah.
You just like have a gift for it, and you just keep going.
Yeah.
And then you also are a life coach, correct?
Yes, I also am a life coach, yes. So I have clients from, all different walks of life. I do tend to have a lot more of my clients are more women.
Okay.
Women are drawn to me, and because I have done my workshops on self-esteem issues, self-love, self-worth. I have a lot of women that I have coached that have gone through abusive relationships.
Okay.
And so that's something that goes hand in hand when you go through an abusive relationship. Your self-esteem, self-worth, and you don't know who you are, your value. You have to work on that till you can heal yourself to move forward.
Of course, especially if you have a past experience that was very hard for you. It's hard just to erase that from your mind and just become a different person. There's a lot of people that say that because of what happened to them in the past, a man or woman, you just become this person. And it's hard because it's just scary to think that you're going to become someone else because you don't even know the person you're going to become.
Yeah.
So it's such an interesting subject. So tell us, what do you talk about here the most? What's your favorite quote?
My core thing is that your thoughts create your life. Your thoughts are so powerful. People don't realize that everyone has mental chatter.
Yes.
And a lot of times we have this negative mental chatter. We'll put ourselves down. We'll say, "Oh man, I'm stupid," or "I look ugly," or "I look fat." And so much negativity. People don't realize how much negative talk that they do to themselves. So a lot of the core thing that I have in my book is teaching people how to turn that around, recognizing it. Once you recognize it, that like, oh wow, you know what?
That you're doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing this quite often.
Okay.
So then you could change it.
Okay.
Because you have the power. If you can think negative thoughts, you can think positive thoughts.
Exactly. Oh, completely.
You're in control.
Yes. Is there like something that you recommend the people to do, like an exercise or?
Yeah. So I tell people once you recognize that you're doing these negative thoughts, write down the negative thoughts because most of the time that I've coached people, they have the same kind of thoughts over and over again.
Okay.
Maybe a different wording, but the same kind of thing.
Okay.
So I tell them recognize it, write it down. Get a piece of paper, draw a line in the middle, write down the negative thoughts. And on the other side, write down the positive thought of it. If you say, for instance, "I'm stupid," on one side you write down, "I'm stupid." Turn around on the other side, say, "I'm smart."
Okay.
So if you say, "I'm weak," "I'm powerful." So, so as soon as you recognize those thoughts, you write them down. And then you concentrate on the positive so that you can recognize what it is that you need to change. Because if you recognize the words that you say to yourself, then you can turn them around. And then you start speaking the positive. So then I tell people, once you recognize that, you carry this piece of paper with you. And say, once you start hearing that negative voice again, you say, no, I'm not. I'm not stupid. I'm smart. So you start saying these affirmations, these positive affirmations that you've taken from the negative affirmations that you were saying. And you start changing the way that you think, the way that you speak, and the way that you feel.
That's such a great
It's simple.
exercise.
It is so simple, but powerful. It really is. It doesn't have to be complicated.
No.
Yeah.
It's something that we can just do, in like 5 seconds? Just right away write it down and just carry the piece of paper with us. And because a lot of times we do that. We bring each other down. And as soon as your energy changes, everything just changes around you. It's like I guess you could call it the law of attraction as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So you say that you like to help a lot of women as well, right? Because, of course, they're drawn to you.
Yeah.
Is there some advice you have to tell them, like that you want to tell them?
Well, I would say that, as women, we judge ourselves so harshly. We really do.
We do.
And we look in the mirror and focus on our flaws. Instead of focusing on our strengths, we focus on our flaws. So you have to, as a woman, we've got to look in the mirror and love ourselves and accept ourselves just the way you are. Even if you're not in the place where you want to be. Say, for instance, you want to lose, 10, 20 pounds. Love the skin that you're in now.
Yes.
Find the good things about yourself and start professing those things. Start concentrating and giving the energy to those good things. Because if you continually concentrate on the things that you don't like about yourself, guess what? That's where your focus is going to be.
Yeah.
So if you can turn that around, then your energy changes and you're going to start feeling good because you're going to say, oh, wow, you know what? I'm really good at this,
Yes.
And concentrate on that. It's it's like nothing is that I do is hard. It's very simple exercise. But again, it all starts with your mind.
Yes.
Your thoughts.
And you have to remind yourself to do it. It's like we know, but then we have to just put it into work.
Yes.
You also said that you have a radio show.
Yes, I do. I have a radio show and it's called Embrace Your Power. And I have, great guests, and it's on Monday nights, every Monday night at 9 p.m. It's on iHeartRadio.
Okay.
And I have just phenomenal guests. And then I love to interact with my audience. So, what I do is, like I said, I reach out to my followers, my audience, say, what topic do you want to discuss? So I do that. And then before I do the show, I'll do a Facebook Live and say, if anyone has any questions, post them now, and I'm gonna, discuss them on the show.
Okay.
So
that's nice.
I want it to be where people feel like they're part of my show. That I'm here for them.
Okay. That
So
you're their
that's
friend.
really exactly
They can connect with you.
Exactly. I want to connect with everyone because you know what? If you can connect with other people, and if you can, help them, then that's beautiful to use that kind of avenue where you're on the radio so that you can reach out to other people. Use it for the good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially you're making it very personal for them.
Yeah.
You know what they want to hear. They tell you. You answer their questions. You said it's every Monday night at 9 p.m.
9
Is
p.m.,
it Eastern time?
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you're going to do it tonight?
Yes, I'm going to do it tonight. Tonight I have a show.
Oh, there you go. So how can they look you up? Is it Embrace Your Power, like that?
Well, you know what? I always tell people, Google my name, Jana Zipper, because I'm easy to find. You'll see all my information.
Okay.
My Facebook page, my Instagram, everything I've done, all my videos. I have also a YouTube that I have.
Nice.
So
is it the same name as well?
It's my YouTube is the Jana Zipper Show.
Okay.
That's a video show. So I do a little something
Nice.
different than I interview people. Say for instance, like you would come on my show. I would interview you. And, you would talk about something inspiring or motivating or share something that you're doing that,
Nice.
going to help somebody. So, yeah. So everything that I do is all about empowering and, helping people and to move forward.
That's such an inspiration.
Thank you.
You're helping people with things that it's the hardest to do, like loving ourselves.
Yeah.
And I guess you can be high one day and then another day you're going to be low. So this is, I mean, this book is great, you guys. Definitely get it. I mean, you open it, you get amazing quotes, and they're so heartwarming. It's, you have to learn how to live. So I guess they always say that we all die, but we do not live. Not everyone lives.
Yes.
So that's, I mean, we want to be like a little kid, you know, I guess. It's like a little kid is always super happy all the time and, you know, super laughing and everything. And then as we get older, life happens to us and we lose that.
Yes.
And we have to find it again. And it's hard, but it's possible. For life coaching, so how are you doing with that?
Well, I have actually clients all over the world because technology is awesome.
It's great right now.
You have Skype, you have you know, Google Hangouts, you have Zoom. So you know, I've had people from as far as Australia, from the UK, from Canada, from Mexico, from what's the most interesting? I actually had somebody from Africa.
Really?
Yeah. So you know, people contact me on my social media. So you know, you don't have to be local to me. You know, you can be anywhere in the world. And you know, what I do is I see the time zone difference and we schedule like that. So, but right now I'm concentrating on the radio show and I have a TV show coming out. So, you know, what I want to do is, because you know, I want to reach more people. If I can reach more people, then that's better. When you're doing one-on-one with somebody, it's great.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to help more than just one person.
Okay, as much people as possible.
As many people as possible, absolutely.
How can people reach you? Or sorry, like, do you have a business email where people can just find out?
Yeah, if somebody wants to, you know, whether it's being on my radio show or, you know, life coaching or anything like that, it's janetzipper.com.
Okay.
I'm janetzipper@yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I'll reach out to them and you know, whatever it is that they need.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, Janet Zipper, you said that you speak Spanish.
Sí.
So I wanted to ask you, so do you ever plan on having this book in Spanish? Do you want to translate it, or what are your plans there? Because of course you want to reach that audience as well. Especially as a Latina,
yes,
you want to reach your people.
Yes.
How are you thinking about that in the future?
Absolutely. You know, that's one thing that, you know, was on my mind, and because, you know, I want to be able to reach as many people, and you know, and with the Latin culture, you know, again, women need empowerment. They need the motivation, inspiration. You know, different cultures have different things.
Yes.
And I think it's so important. It really is. So yes, definitely I'm going to translate my book in Spanish, yes.
Will you ever do workshops in Spanish, and will you ever do your radio show in Spanish, I guess?
Yeah, you know, I want to get to the Latin. I want to reach the Latin masses. You know, definitely. And what I want to do too is what my next step is. What I want to do is I want to find people, you know, that will want to go alongside with me, and you know, because maybe I can relate to certain people, but maybe, for instance, somebody else can relate to a different kind of speaker. So I want to create like a network of speakers that we can work together.
Okay.
So we can create these workshops, we can create these things to be able to touch other people. So maybe if I do a workshop, I have like 2 or 3 different speakers.
Okay.
And so they can, maybe, you know, there's a guy in the audience, doesn't relate to me, but maybe he relates to a male speaker that I have. So I want to be able to have it to where everyone is gleaning something, everyone is getting something. So that's my new vision.
That's great. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, we all have that person, I guess, that we can relate to.
Yes, absolutely.
And like you say, like women just relate to you even more than men. You probably have a lot of men, of course, you know, listening to you, but like women, they just get drawn to you easier. So that's such a great thing that you mentioned. That's
nice. That's what I want to do, you know, because you know, I think that in this day and age right now, people need to hear something positive. You know, there's
Yeah.
so much negativity
Yeah.
in the media, and people, and that's another thing too. I tell people, if you want to change your life, stop watching negative things. You take that in. People spend hours in front of the TV, in front of
Yes.
social media, whatever negative. They're bombarded by negativity, and you cannot have a positive life if you have a negative lifestyle.
True.
So you have to make that change too.
Little things like that just get into your brain and you just start thinking negative things.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You know, it's like people say, "Oh, the world's coming to an end."
True.
Yeah, so it's important.
Janet, you mentioned as well that you can get this amazing book at Amazon and Kindle, correct?
Yes, yes. So if you go to Amazon.com, you can find it on. It's actually hardcover. You can order it hardcover, or you can order the ebook, which is Kindle.
Okay.
So I made it to where because it's available in both formats. Because some people, you know, like to read on Kindle or some other type of app, you know, online, and some people like to have the book in their hand.
Exactly. Different
Yeah.
people, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I like the Kindle because then you can just switch books right away. You don't have to carry, especially in New York, you have
Yes.
to like travel everywhere by
Yeah.
foot. But some people just like want to have the book. It makes them feel, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
it's in their hand.
Exactly. Well, there you guys have it. Janet Zipper, thank you so much for coming to our show tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
I am your host, Paola Palacios, and this was CY Entertainment Tonight. Thank you for watching.